Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming back to Shop Talk multi-Grammy Award-winning recording artist Lionel Richie for a conversation with Dottie Mattison.
All night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long.
Okay, I'm a little let down that we're not from the Wall Street Journal nor Amazon.
Yeah, and the fact that they asked us to come back.
Yeah, they asked us to come back, but
And I didn't sing the last time. Oh my God.
can we wait? First of all, let's imagine you working at the Wall Street Journal for 5 seconds. That'd be so awesome.
You know what? Imagine for 5 seconds, and then it's over.
Exactly.
No, give me the stage.
I know I speak for both of us when I say thank you for having us back. We're both thrilled to be here. It's one of the best highlights of our spring last year,
I loved
except
it.
for your multinational award-winning tour, but I didn't go on tour. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we've been talking about two of my favorite topics, risk-taking and execution, which probably are two of your favorites as well. And as you may or may not know, this man has sold 100 million records, which is, most of you might not know what that is, but that's a big deal. He's won a zillion Grammys, an Oscar, was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, has a star on blah, 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 father of three.
Two
beautiful
grandkids.
children.
Yeah.
But the why he got where he is today is because he's an incredible risk taker. So please do tell us the importance of risk taking.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I believe in one simple philosophy, and that is that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So if you find yourself in any way thinking that we've finally made it, you're now one step behind. In my business, that applies directly. When someone says, congratulations, you have a #1 record, Lionel, the question they ask right after that is, what do you have next? If you don't have that record, you're ice cold with a #1 record. And so what I have found that you have to go for panic, and that is go for your edge, and fear is going to be your companion. And my father gave me some great advice when I was growing up. He said, what does a hero and a coward have in common? Answer, they were both scared to death. It's just one step forward and one step back. And the other problem that's going to happen, or the other companion you're going to have, is called that Mr. Doubt. Well, I'm not sure. Well, while you're trying to be not sure, Stevie Wonder is going to put out the hit record. Prince is coming right after that, Michael Jackson. So in my world, I was always forced to go to the next phase. And that's what I was saying here, is that you just have to press forward, lean forward, and always keep imagining, keep imagining.
I love that point about competition, though, where healthy competitors, in your example, you use good friends of yours, obviously, but where knowing that the competition is on your ass also can drive you as you go and as you move forward. That's a good point.
Yeah, fear is a great motivator, especially in my business, because I'm the great procrastinator. So I have to wait till the very last minute, and then I'll have the record for you. Or I'll have to have the stage show, or I'll figure out the stage show about 2 days before it's time to go on the stage. But a lot of people don't work like that. And I had to finally realize that in talking to my kids, how do they prepare for their next adventure? And they can't put the edge like that, because everything is not the music business. But competition is the same.
Yes.
It's the only word that I think I have a love-hate relationship with, because every time I think I've done it, someone comes along with a brand new idea, and the only thing as a songwriter I would say is, how come I didn't think about that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love about you is how humble you are, and what a true sense of humility you have for someone who's as accomplished as you are. And one of the things about you that you would never say about yourself is that you're very unique, that you've been at this for 100 years, and you're very accomplished, but you're a very intelligent business person, you're a wonderful father, wonderful brother, and I would love for you to tell this group the story of the project that you're working on about Sammy Davis Jr. And why only you, because you don't toot your own horn as much as maybe you should, but only you could have accomplished what you've accomplished with Sammy Davis Jr.'s biopic.
Well, it was, just imagine, I was not thinking of being in the movie business at all. And I'm watching the Oscars, and they said, Brad Pitt wins an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave. I'm a producer, right away. Brad motivated me because I kept thinking, how many other fabulous stories in American history have we not heard from? In other words, Ray Charles we know about, we've heard about that story, but there's so many other Afro-American stories that need to be told. And the first thing I said was Sammy Davis Jr. Well, I called the family on the phone and said, a few of my agents at CAA, and they said, we've been trying to get that project for 27 years. And I said, that's impossible. Just call the people up on the phone and say you want to do it. He said, no one's talking. So I brought the family together. I didn't realize this, but the kids had not spoken together out of the 2 marriages for 27 years. And I walked in the door and said to them, congratulations, you own 100% of nothing. I'd like to leave this day saying we now have the Davis Corporation with the 3 kids. They cried, we had a great moment, and then we sat down to putting together the legacy of their father. And I'm very proud to tell you that we finally secured the deal. We're going to now do the Sammy Davis Jr. movie, documentary, and Broadway musical.
That's fantastic. That's great. Congratulations. It's great. It's great. Because stories can only be told if you take the risk and if there's storytelling to be had. Now, last time we were here on this stage, you were about to launch 1 or 2 of the categories in Lionel Richie Home.
Yep.
But for those of us who know a thing or two about the home business, the biggest share of the home business is actually the soft textiles part of the business, the bedding and bath part of the business. Right. What are you thinking about that?
That's next.
Okay.
I don't know who told you that, but that's next. You know what I found in my business? I love this thing called disruption. What we've done now, everyone sells their product around the world with music. The only thing is we can't sell music anymore. It's how ironic is that? So I realized at this period that's either going to be a tragedy or that's going to be a plus. What did it do for me? It actually made me think of what if I had left out? Well, people say to me, I dated on your song. I went to college on your song. I was married on your song. I had kids on your song.
It's true. I got pregnant by your song, Lionel.
They do tell me that. And then the story drops off. Instead of saying, we moved into our house on your products. We did this with your products. And so this disruption that happened in the music business was a plus in my life because that's when the home line came about. And that's when I realized, let's take this to the next level. I have a familiar brand. In fact, the test I gave one day was I asked some people, who's the vice president of the United States? They couldn't tell me. And they said, well, we know you, Lionel. I said, thank you very much. So that's what I'm saying. To me, if you have a name that's already there, what else can we do? And that's where the home line's going.
I love what you're saying about disruption. And one of the awesome things that we've seen at the hands of technology and great entrepreneurs are people bringing the gig economy and taking things that were hardwired and
right.
hard infrastructure
right.
and bringing it to what the people want, right?
Right.
So look at Uber.
Right.
That was born out of a lot of people with a lot of cars wanting work and a lot of people who were waiting for cabs and they weren't getting them, right? So tell us a little bit about your investment in Heal, H-E-A-L, which is, if we will, house calls through your smartphone, getting a doctor to your house. So tell us about it.
The greatest pitch ever crossing my desk, if you will, was a guy said, we have an idea about a new method of healthcare. And here's the pitch. Uber doctor. In 15 minutes or less, we can have a doctor at your door for $99. I'm in immediately. What that does is we have people who cannot afford to wait in a lobby or in a doctor's office. You got 3 kids you're trying to raise at home. You've got a weekend. It's always a problem in the afternoon and evening. And you can now, for $99, pick up an app, press Uber Doctor, and in less than 15 minutes, there's a doctor at your door. The most amazing way, I think, of solving part of the problem of healthcare, but at least allows the health physician to be at your door. Now, the reason I was so fascinated about this was I grew up in a small town in Alabama. It was normal for the doctor to come by your house. That's called a house call.
Right, right, service.
So this is an old-fashioned house call gone with an app.
Yeah, and what's awesome about it is that it is dialed into the major insurance providers.
Yep.
And I commend the entrepreneurs for having the foresight to wire it. So while we have a few minutes left, tell us what's on your books for the balance of the year, because you know your day job is very important to a lot of us. For those of us who have danced and sung at your concerts, do tell what's in store.
Well, this is about the most relaxed I've ever been in the last year, because normally I was supposed to be in Mattison Square Gardens 2 days ago. But as always, trying to chase the kids around and keep up with my 22-year-old son, I have a hyperextended knee, and so I had to cancel the tour with Mariah Carey across America for 3 months. Now,
that's called postponed.
Postponed. Of course, every one of my friends said, you cancel or you postpone because you're trying to get ready for Mariah. And I said, no, Mariah's going to do exactly what she does. But we're going across America for a summer tour now. And then after that, we go to Australia, and then we start around to Europe again, and then around to America. That's called a year. So every time someone tells me or asks the question, how long have you been on tour? My answer is, since 1974. We don't come off the road. So this is unusual for me. But I think now what's going to happen, because I'm now doing the entrepreneurial side of my life, it's so great to be in London and Paris and New York and Japan, and because now I can do the other side of the coin, which is the Lionel home line, whatever else we're doing, and I'm kind of doing it all while touring.
Well, you know, you should be very proud of yourself. There's so many people who are as successful as you were young who sub-optimize over time or give it up and go, you know, hang and do nothing. But I met you, you know, when you were a mere pup 10 years ago.
I love that.
But I'm very impressed with your level of energy and your level of risk taking and the foot in all of our asses that you have to keep us, you know, going. You're quite an inspiration. I'm assuming there's cursing at Shop Talk, right? And I've just gotten started. If you leave me on, it'll get better.
My words of wisdom, if I had to impart, is I always say to everyone, I didn't grow up in Beverly Hills, California. I started in Tuskegee, Alabama, population 9,000. With the university in session, we had 15,000. So to go from 9,000 with no one knowing who you ever could be in life, to go around the world on a dream, and I said this before, you know, I think the most disappointing words I told my father was, he was expecting me to come out lawyer, doctor, whatever the case may be. I said, I'm the Commodores, we're the Black Beatles, and we're going to take over the world. And my dad said, idiot. Now.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
But here's what you always live for. Exactly 7 years later, after that moment in time, I'm doing a Barbara Walters interview, and my father said, it is the job of all parents to stand firmly behind the child, to support them in whatever endeavor they plan to join. Now, I said he was lying, but it sounded good. What you want to do in life is just say to your parents one fabulous phrase, I told you so. And so I'm saying to all of you, there's a world. There's a fabulous world. And if you don't make it in Baltimore, try Chicago. If it doesn't work in Chicago, try it in Paris. If it doesn't work in Paris, try it in Texas. It's a big-ass world out there, and all you've got to do is throw yourself out there and make it work, and good luck. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're so happy you're here.
I love it. Thank you.